Hi guys, it's Jess and welcome back to my channel, and here are my final 5-star predictions for 2021. So I do have to be at work in a little bit, so I am going to try and make this video as short as possible. But yes, 5-star predictions. I've had a lot of them this year and it's been very interesting to see how those have panned out, whether I've been right or not, and it's been very hit and miss actually, but I've got my final set of 5-star predictions here for the last third of 2021. I only have 5 books this time. Usually I would have done about 8 books for 4 months, so that's like 2 books a month, but I just don't know how my reading is going to go over the next few months, so yeah, we're going to keep it simple and we're going to stick to 5. I'm very excited for all of these, so let's just get into it. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is Before the Coffee Gets Cold by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. So I will just say quickly, all of these books that I'm going to talk about you've probably seen in a couple of my previous videos already, so I'm going to try and not be too repetitive and go into them too much, but this is a Japanese literary fiction novel all about time travel. And it follows these people who are in a coffee shop and they make use of the cafe's time-travelling offer in order to confront the lover who left them, receive a letter from their husband whose memory has begun to fade, see their sister one last time, and meet the daughter they never got the chance to know. But the journey into the past does not come without risks. Customers must sit in a particular seat, they cannot leave the cafe, and finally they must return to the present before the coffee gets cold. And it just sounds like a really cool concept, and I know I say this all the time, but I just think Japanese authors have such a fantastic way of getting into the human mindset and picking apart their lives and, you know, really fleshing them out to make them really believable, and it makes you empathize with them and you can kind of, you know, understand what they're going through. I've heard incredible things about this book. Ever since it came out, people have been constantly talking about it on Bookstagram mainly, and I haven't heard a single negative thing about this book yet. So I have high expectations for this one. Next we have Night Film by Marisha Pessl. So I'm planning to read this in October, which is not too far away, and this has been on my TBR for probably over a year or so now, and this one is all about a girl whose body is discovered in a warehouse and the police think it's suicide, but an investigative journalist called Scott McGrath suspects otherwise. And the last time McGrath got too close to the Cordova dynasty, he lost his marriage and his career, and this time he could lose his mind. And I don't know anything else other than that, but I've heard that this is a fantastic mystery horror book and it has some really great moments in it. It's also very interactive. It's got all of these like case files from the story embedded within the text, so you can like get involved, I guess, and I love those kind of things in books. It just makes it more entertaining. I don't know what that's all about, but it's cool. And yeah, I've heard amazing things about this. Some of my favourite booktubers in the world have really enjoyed this book, so if they've enjoyed it, I feel like it's the perfect book for me. And yeah, I'm convinced I'm gonna love this, so hopefully I am not disappointed. Next up is Misery by Stephen King, and I've been wanting to read this for the longest time. I'm finally gonna get around to it. I still need to read 2 Stephen King books this year because I promised myself I would read 3 and I've only read 1. So this one is definitely on my list. It's on my autumn and winter TBR, so I will get to this one probably in October as well. This is one of his most popular books, and it's one that I have heard continuously amazing things about. And the story itself sounds really interesting. There is this author who has an accident and he's in hospital, and the nurse who's taking care of him, I think she like kidnaps him or something, because she is this super fan, this crazy fan, and she is like holding him at gunpoint, trying to force him to finish the novel or write the novel how she wants it. I'm not 100% certain of those details, but either way, sounds great. I love Stephen King. I've only read 2 books by him, but I love both of them, so I love him, okay? Both of those books were great. They were 4 stars though. I'm expecting this to be 5 stars. 3rd time lucky, right? But yeah, it just sounds really creepy, really fucked up, and everything that I love. Next we have this beast of a book, Plain Bad Heroines by Emily M. Danforth. This was one of my most anticipated releases of the end of last year, 2020. And this is one that has a really cool storyline, and I feel like I'm going to love it. There's 2 time periods, but in the early 1900s, book camp students Flo and Clara fell madly in love, brought together by their obsession for a scandalous memoir. A few months later, they were found dead in the woods after a horrific wasp attack, the book lying next to their intertwined bodies. 3 more grisly deaths followed before the school was forced to close. Now the school's doors are open once more, but as the crew of glamorous young actresses assemble to start filming, past and present begin to blur, and soon it's impossible to tell quite where the curse ends and Hollywood begins. And it sounds great. I've heard that this is like, you know, a mix of horror and dark academia and mystery and thriller, which, you know, it sounds really cool. I love the wasp on the cover. I mean, I hate wasps, so hopefully they don't feature too much in this book because I don't want to be absolutely terrified of wasps. You know, I've done really well so far in not getting stung by a wasp or a bee in my entire life, so I don't want to I don't want that to happen now, and I just want to stay annoyed at wasps. I don't want to be terrified of them, but I feel like this book is going to change that. But yeah, I've heard really good things about this one as well. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm expecting it to be, but I'm expecting it to be fun and mysterious and spooky. What more could I ask for? And then lastly, we have The Sanatorium by Sarah Pearse. And this is probably the most risky book, the most risky prediction on this list, because I have heard very mixed things about this. People either love it or they hate it. So I don't know which way it's going to go for me, but you know, I'm keeping an open mind, and just because other people don't like it doesn't mean that I won't. This is about a woman. She's a detective. She goes on holiday with her brother, I think. She gets invited along to the Swiss Alps with him anyway, and they stay in this hotel that used to be a sanatorium, and some creepy shit starts happening. That's all I really know. But just that idea of being in the Swiss Alps, which is a pretty remote place, you know, unless you're at like a ski resort, you know, it's a pretty foreboding place. That setting really appeals to me. I read a book ages ago it was a ghost story, and it was set in the Arctic, in Antarctica or something like that, and that was a really great setting because it was very remote and it made you feel very isolated, and it was very foreboding, you know, and there was just something about it that was really creepy. So I feel like this setting is perfect for this kind of story. And then the idea of a renovated sanatorium, this hotel that used to be a sanatorium, is really cool, and I'm expecting it to be quite spooky. I don't know, this is a thriller, but I'm gonna give it a go, and I'm hoping it's gonna be 5 stars. So there we go. Okay guys, so those are all of my 5-star predictions. My last 5-star predictions of this year. I can't believe we are into the last bit of 2021. I can't believe it. But I am gonna wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Please let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought of them, whether they were 5 stars for you or not. Also let me know what books you're planning to read that you are hoping will be 5 stars. I always love to hear what you guys have to say. Please like this video if you liked it, obviously. Please subscribe to this channel so you can see more videos from me in the future, and I will see you all in my next video very soon. Bye guys.